Hey there, fellow Yu-Gi-Oh! Enthusiasts! Today we're going to talk about something that might surprise you. How much people are willing to spend on cardboard. If you're a veteran Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game collector, you probably know this already, but for those of you who are new to the scene, the answers might shock you. The anime-based trading card game has kept people coming back to the franchise, even though the original anime ended years ago. And let me tell you, the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG is still going strong. With booster packs and decks being released yearly, there are over 22 billion Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in circulation. But did you know that there are 14 cards that are super rare and super expensive? That's right, folks. Today we're going to talk about the top 14 rarest and most expensive Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that you should really know about. So sit back, relax, and get ready to have your mind blown.
Hey, can it be the Blue Eyes White Dragon in a dump like this? It is the card I've been searching for.
What better way to start off our list than with a card that any true Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan will instantly recognize, the iconic Blue Eyes White Dragon. This dragon was used in multiple defining moments of the anime, making it an instant classic. But what makes it so valuable? Well, it was actually released in 2002 as a promotional item for the Game Boy Color game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories. Because of its promotional release, this card is incredibly rare and hard to find. And as a result, it's now valued at a whopping $400 US. So, if you're lucky enough to come across this gem, make sure to hold on to it tight. Up next, we have the Dark End Dragon. Unlike the Blue-Eyed White Dragon, this card doesn't have any sentimental value when it comes to its relation to the anime. In fact, it was born out of the trading card game itself. In 2009, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament was organized, and the Dark End Dragon was one of the top prizes for the best duelists in the competition. But here's the kicker. Only the best of the best received this card. That's why the Dark End Dragon is so valuable. Its exclusivity has made it a highly sought-after card, and it's now valued at over $800 US. So, if you're one of the lucky few who has this card in your collection, congratulations! You've got the top 13th card on your hands. Are you ready for a card that's so rare it's almost like a mythical creature? I'm talking about the Gold Sarcophagus card, which is one of the rarest cards because there are only 25 of these bad boys in existence, which makes them incredibly hard to find. They were only given as prizes to the top duelists who participated in a tournament back in 2005 and 2006. Since then, this card has not seen a reprint, which means the only way to get your hands on one is to find someone who's willing to sell theirs. And if you do come across one of these cards, be prepared to fork over at least $1,400 US. So if you're lucky enough to own one of these cards, then you truly are one of the chosen few. Coming in at number 11 is the Shrink card. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone pay big bucks for a card that costs less than $1 on Amazon? Well, hold on to your decks, because this isn't just any ordinary Shrink card. We're talking about a limited edition printing that's worth $2,000 US. So, don't underestimate the power of the Shrink card, my friends. It might just be the most expensive card you never knew you had. Now, let's talk about the original edition of Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn. This card is special because it's not only a collector's item, but it's also a powerful card for competitive play. But don't be fooled, not all Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn cards are created equal. While the card was reprinted in 2015, many collectors are after the original printing. The ultra-rare version was a prize for the top players of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series tournament, and that's why it's valued at $2,300 US. So if you happen to have this card in your collection, you're not only super lucky, but super strong as well. Let's take a look at a card that has a special place in the history of the Shonen Jump tournaments, the Cyberstain card. This card was actually the very first one given away as a prize in the tournament back in 2004, making it a real piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History. It's not just a collector's item, it's also a powerful card that can be a game changer in competitive play. But if you want to get your hands on this rarity, you better start saving up. It's valued at $3,000 US, and that's a lot of money for a piece of cardboard, but for die-hard Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, it might just be worth it. Do you believe in urban legends? Well, hold on to your cards because we've got one for you. The Skuna, the Leonine Rockin' card, is shrouded in mystery. No one knows for sure how many copies were printed, but rumors say only 6 exist in the world. This card was a prize for the 2009 Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament, and it's so rare that some people doubt it even exists. But those lucky few who have it can cash it in for $6,000 US. So keep your eyes peeled, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be the proud owner of the Skuna card. Moving on to number 7 is the original edition of Swords of Revealing Light. This card is not only one of the first promotional cards ever released for the anime, but it was also printed before the official release of the trading card game. Even though there's no exact number, the card is likely worth more than $6,000. Coming in at number 6, we're talking about Armament of the Lethal Lords. Not many people have even seen this card up for sale, and it's for a good reason. This card was a prize for one of the earliest Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, and it's said that only a few were printed. There's even a rumor that it was once sold for $1 million, but of course we have to take that with a grain of salt. However, if you do happen to come across this card for sale, you better be ready to dish out at least $9,000 US for it. Number 5 is Iron Knight of Revolution. This card was printed only 3 times during a tournament in 2017, making it a rare and highly sought after collector's item. It's pretty hard to find this card, but one of the 3 ever printed was actually put up for sale in an online auction. And guess how much it sold for? A breathtaking $12,999 US. Can you imagine spending that much on a single card? Cards this rare are almost never seen in online auctions, but when they are, they sell for a really high price. The Iron Knight of Revolution is definitely one of the top contenders in this list of rare and expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Have you heard about the Amatsu Okami of the Divine Peaks card? It's not as rare as some of the others on this list, but there's still some mystery surrounding it. We know it was given to the top players of a tournament in 2018, but we have no idea how many were made. The players who received it kept it for themselves, except for one brave soul who decided to sell. And guess how much they got for it? $18,800 US. Maybe that will motivate the other players to sell theirs too. Number 3 is one of the most beloved cards in the anime series, the Dark Magician Girl. Not only is it a fan favorite, but it's also one of the rarest and most valuable cards out there. Now, this card has been reprinted many times, but that's not what collectors are after. They want the ultra rare card, which is worth $50,000 US. So, how did it become so valuable? Well, during its release, the only way to get your hands on one was by winning an exclusive Japanese lottery. That's right, it's a lottery card. So if you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these ultra rare Dark Magician Girl cards, you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Number 2 comes with a heartwarming story. We're talking about Tyler, the Great Warrior, which is a card that has no official value assigned to it because it has never been sold before, but it's got a truly special story behind it. Back in 2002, a young boy named Tyler was suffering from cancer, and his final wish was to be immortalized as a Yu-Gi-Oh card. His wish was granted, the card was made, and Tyler's dreams came true. Thankfully, he then made a full recovery and still has his card to this day. He's received plenty of offers for it over the years, but now, for the first time, he's willing to put it up on the market. It will be going on auction April 13th, and we can't wait to see how much money it'll go for. It's more than just a card, it's a symbol of hope and resilience. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the Tournament Blackluster Soldier card with a jaw-dropping price tag of $9 million. That's right, you heard me correctly, $9 million. And get this, you can't even use it to play the game. But hey, that doesn't stop collectors from wanting it. This card is the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh collector's item, as it was the grand prize of the very first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament ever held. Now, you might be wondering where you can get your hands on one of these babies. Well, the truth is, you probably won't find it for auction. There's only one in existence, and it was sold years ago. And that's it, folks. We've reached the end of our journey through the top 14 rarest and most expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's clear that the world of Yu-Gi-Oh collecting is a vast and ever-expanding one, with no shortage of valuable cards out there. And who knows what the future holds? With the continued popularity of the franchise, we can only expect more limited edition and rare cards to be printed, causing the value of these cards to continue to rise. So whether you're a collector looking to make a big score, or just a fan of the series, keep your eyes peeled for those rare cards and keep on dueling.